Hi, this is Biz. Today I'm going to be showing you how to create and import a new character skin for Melee using mExTool and Blender. So there's only a couple tools you're going to need. You're going to need Blender, which you can get from blender.org. You're going to need mExTool from Team Acania's GitHub. You're going to need HSD Raw viewer to view the Melee files, which you can get from Ploj's GitHub. You're going to need Blender source tools, which is actually an import exporter for Valve's source format. For Blender. You're going to need a Melee ISO. You're going to need Dolphin emulator just for testing. And that's all you need. So first you're going to want to open mExTool. And you're going to want to go to File, Open. And here I'm just going to get my ISO. So you get your Melee ISO. Here's mine. You can open it. Say yes, install mEx system, and then you're going to want to go to File, Export as, File System. Now I already have one, so I'm not going to do this. For now, you are done with mExTool. Now you're going to want to go to your file system. So we'll go ahead and go to our file system. Mine is Vanilla Melee. Then we go to Files, and we have to pick a character that we want to edit. So in this case, I'm going to pick someone simple. I will pick Mario. So all the players are PL, and Mario is MR. So I'm going to scroll down to MR, and we have MR, the base file. We have AJ, which is the animation file. We have black, we have blue, we have another animation file. We have green, we have a new one that I added. We have neutral, and we have yellow. So we're going to take the neutral file and we're going to make a copy of that. Name it something that doesn't conflict. So in this case, I will name it PLMR box, or something like that. And now we are going to open HSD Raw. So we're going to open that up and go to File, Open. And we are going to open the file that we just made a clone of. So PLMR box. Okay, double click PL Mario 5K share joint, and you can see Mario here. We're going to go to File, Import Model from, or Export, We're going to export model to file, and in this case, we're going to pick Studio MDL, which is actually the source file. Name it something. I'm going to name it Export, and save it. We don't need to change anything, not even the Blender export mode. Confirm that, and now we're going to open Blender. So I'll open a new instance of Blender. Delete your cube and your camera, and you're going to go to Edit, Preferences. If you've never installed a plugin before, what you do is you click Install, and then you click on the zip file. So you don't actually unzip it, you just click Install, and then click on the zip file. I already have it, and this is what it looks like. You check it off, you go to Save Preferences, and you close it. Now you go to File, Import, Source Engine, and you're going to want to get your working file. I'm not going to change any of this, and we're going to import it. Now the downside to importing as a source file, or rather to exporting as a source file, is that it merges the whole character together. This isn't really an issue if you're making a custom character, because you're going to be throwing all this data out anyway, but all of Mario here still has his rig and he's still working. He just has the low poly and all the other bonus meshes merged in as one. You can clean that up yourself, but we're not going to do that today. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to move the export skeleton up into the export because the source file format is weird and it imports weird. Now that it is part of that, we are going to name the export skeleton armature, and we're going to name the actual skeleton itself armature. It doesn't matter what the name of the mesh is. The next thing we're going to do is we are going to open the armature, and we will notice that we have a bunch of dummy objects. I don't know what these bones are used for. They are not usually there, and we are going to get rid of them. So what we're going to do is we are going to click the armature. We're going to go into edit mode, and we are going to click the bones we don't want, press shift, press that, hover over the viewport, hit delete, and delete those bones. Now we only have the bones that we want, the bones that actually do something. And what we're going to do now is we're going to fix the orientation. So we're going to click the armature in object mode. We're going to go into rotate mode, and I'm going to press X to stick it to the x-axis. I'm going to hold Control to snap, and in the top left you can see rotation of 90. Okay, now we just need to apply that rotation, and while still in object mode, we are going to go to Object, Apply, and we can apply all transforms in this case. Okay, now just to make sure that it is working, or to do something fun perhaps, we can add a box to Mario. But before I add a box to Mario, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of all the materials. Now if you don't 3D model, you might not know what these do, but basically every material is a texture assignment and something to do with that texture. So make it shiny or make it transparent. But in this case, we're going to simplify Mario down to just one material. And now with Mario's mesh selected, we're going to go into edit mode again. We're going to add, and we'll add a cube. Bring that cube up, make it really big, sure. And just really quickly, we will rig it to his head. So first I'm going to click his cheek and go to item and look at the vertex weights. So we can see JOBJ23 is the cheek, so it's probably the head. With the importer, you always get JOBJ and some number for all these different bones, and you can click around and try to figure out what they are, but you can know for sure just by clicking something in the vicinity and kind of guessing. In this case, we're just rigging the box to the head, so we only need to worry about this one weight. So we're going to click the box, select all the verts on the box, and go to the vertex menu. We will search for 23. We don't want this dummy data, we want this good one. With a weight of 1, we're going to assign it. Now the box is rigged to the head. Doesn't matter if anything clips in, we'll just clip it in. The next thing we'll do is we'll just make sure that this material is assigned. Now everything is the same material and everything is all rigged. If you're making a custom character, there's a couple things you need to know before you export. One, you need to make sure that none of your bone weights add up to more than 1. What this means is they have to be normalized. Now, you can click anywhere on Mario and you can see, oh, here it's a 50-50 split between these two bones, but it still adds up to 1. Another thing you need to make sure is apparently Melee doesn't like it if a vertex is weighed to more than 2 bones at the same time. What this means is that you have to limit the vertices influence. You can do this by selecting all your vertices, search and type in limit, and you can do limit total. In this case, we don't have to do it, but you would do limit total, you would change it to 2. Another thing you have to make sure is that there are no weights of 0. Now it seems kind of strange that it would even include a weight of 0, but sometimes when you're rigging, you can get a weight of 0. What that would look like is something like this, where this would be a 0 and this would be a 1. In order to get rid of things like this, what you can do is you can do a clean operation. You can select all the verts and you can search for clean and scroll down to weights clean, and you can caret this up and you can change the limit. This would just get rid of zeros. You can make it more lenient if you want, but Melee doesn't like it if you have anything that is a 0 weight. We know Mario's fine, however, because we haven't changed anything about him, and the head is all rigged to just JOBJ23, and it adds up to 1. Now we can export him. So we're going to select the armature and the mesh. We're going to go to File, Export, and we're actually going to export as an FBX file. We can name it whatever we want. I'm going to name it Export. And just for safety, I'm going to do Selected Object, Mesh, and Armature. If you have other junk in your scene, it's always safer to just select the things that you know you want, and in this case, it's just the mesh and the armature. We're going to change the scale to 0.01 because the scale is wrong. Now we're going to go to armature, and we don't want leaf bones. We want the exact bones we have, no extra. And we don't have any animation, so we don't even need to do that. Let's go ahead and export that. Now we're going to want to go into our HSD Raw again, And still on our PLMR box, our new file, we're going to go to File, Import Model from File. So we're going to click that, going to import. I called it export, but we're going to import the new file, and we don't need to change any of this. Give it a second, and we will soon see a blank Mario with a box for a head. That's good. Now there's a couple things we need to do. We may as well give him a texture. So we're going to import, we're going to edit, and we're going to import a texture. So I will give him some texture from Mario originally. Import. We'll give him all of Mario's M over and over. Done. Here you can see some different settings. The filter is the most common one. If you want really harsh texture, you can just put it on nearest. That'll make it all pixelated. Linear is normally what they do, so that's fine. We're going to make it diffuse and text 0. And now you can see it's just a bunch of M's tiling across him because he's just one material. And the next thing we have to do is we have to make sure that Mario has the same amount of objects here as he does in his base file. So we're going to open another instance of HSD Raw. We're going to open the original Mario that this is based on. So go back to the files. And we will do PLMR NR for neutral. Okay, open that and double click that. And we're going to look at how many objects he actually has in his file. So it starts at 0 and it goes up to 58. So there's 59 objects. That means we need 59 objects. So back on our custom Mario, we're going to go to Edit, Add Dummy DOBJ. We're going to make 58 for a total of 59, and we will add dummy textures. Confirm. Okay. Now the final check that we have to make is we have to make sure that since Mario blinks, that the indices on the eyes are the same as they are on the base data file for Mario. Sometimes this gets messed up. I was doing Luigi earlier. It got messed up somehow. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at that base file. So we're going to open in HSD Raw, PLMR with no suffix. That's the base data file. We're going to open that up. Go ahead and caret everything. We're going to go to the model lookup tables and the costume material lookups. The first array has the indices that we care about. We're going to caret that down, and we are going to go to entries. We can caret that array and see that 14 and 15 are the blinking indices. So here we can open the anim, caret that, and we can look at 14 and 15. 14 as a texture animation for blinking, 15 as a texture animation for blinking. So it's fine. If you had to make a new one, what you would do is you would right click and you would click add texture animation, and then you can leave it blank and you can save it. In this case, we don't have to do that. So we're going to click File, Save. Now we're going to add him into our game with mExTool. So we're going to go ahead and close this. We're going to open mExTool, File, open File System this time. And I'm going to want to target the file system. So in this case, I have it right next to it. Go ahead and click that, select it, OK. Now we're going to go to fighters, pick the fighter you made. So Mario, I have a blank already on Mario. I'm going to add another one. So go ahead and click add. Make sure you add the file that you just made. So in our case, it had box at the end. So PLMR box. Okay, open. There he is. It's fine. It doesn't need a picture. We can give it a picture anyway. We'll give it some picture from Mario's textures, I guess. We'll give it an eye, and we'll make the icon a little red square. That's fine. Or we'll make, make a little red square. Then you go to File, Save. It'll spin up, and we're done. Now we're going to open Dolphin. Go ahead and open Dolphin, set up your controller if you have to. And what you can do is you can actually go to your file system and your system file and just play straight from the DAW. So we're going to do that. I have cheat codes, so it's going to go straight to the menu. Then go over to Mario, and you can see that he has the weird CSP. And no, Mario again, coincidentally. And we're going to hit start. I get an error here, and I would like someone else to resolve this error, but you can ignore it for this session. Now pick a stage, whatever. We'll pick FD because we play Melee and it's a meme. And now you can see that I have Mario animating correctly with a box and no issues, which is pretty great. I would like somebody to take this guide and figure out how to fix the error that I'm getting in Dolphin. But without any bonus information about material editing, without any bonus information about hiccups with rigging or anything fancy, we put a box on Mario's head, and it all works straight from HSD Raw into Blender, out of Blender, back in, and using mExTool. So that's it. I hope that we go make some cool stuff. Please, somebody figure out what the bug is, and I'll update the guide. Thanks. See ya.